Welcome to Sabotage, the psychology of racing, and most drivers think the first sign of overdriving is sliding. But by the time the car is sliding, you're already too late. The real first sign appears seconds earlier, and it doesn't come from the car. It comes from you. Overdriving is one of the most common problems in racing, and it's deceptive because when drivers push harder, it feels like they should be going faster, more steering input and more brake pressure and more aggression, but lap time just doesn't reward the effort. It rewards efficiency, and when drivers start overdriving, they usually focus on the wrong signal. They look for the car losing grip, but the real warning sign happens way before that. The first sign you're overdriving is when you start making corrections that shouldn't exist. Tiny steering adjustments and extra throttle lifts, and even small brake stabs. Individually, they seem harmless, but together they reveal something very important. Your brain is no longer executing the corner, it's reacting to mistakes. And the moment you transition from execution to correction, you've already crossed the limit. When a driver is operating at the correct pace, the inputs are predictable. Brake, turn, balance the car, throttle, it almost feels boring. But when overdriving starts, something subtle changes. The steering wheel begins to move more. Instead of one clean arc into the corner, the driver begins to adjust mid-corner. Not dramatic slides, just little corrections. A tiny extra steering input and a slight lift of the throttle, and that just creates another adjustment on exit. What's happening is the car is no longer following a stable platform. The driver has asked for more speed than the tyres can support. So the brain, it enters correction mode, and correction mode is expensive because every correction costs grip. Every correction costs momentum, and most importantly, every correction costs mental bandwidth. For example, think about a fast qualifying lap. When a professional driver hooks it up, the lap feels almost calm. The steering inputs are minimal, the car just rotates once, and the exit is clean. But watch a lap where someone is trying too hard, you'll see constant steering movement, tiny inputs, little stabilization corrections. The car might still stay on track, it might even look fast, but underneath, the driver is fighting the car instead of guiding it. And that fight is what slows the lap down. And here's the interesting part. Drivers rarely notice when this starts happening, because corrections create the illusion of control, and you feel busy and you feel active. You feel like you're saving the car, but what's actually happening is the opposite. Your brain is being forced to solve too many problems at once. Corner entry, car rotation, grip recovery, and exit stability. Instead of running a smooth mental model of the corner, you're firefighting, and firefighting is slow. The fastest drivers in the world aim for something different. They aim for minimum correction driving. If the steering wheel moves once into the corner, it should rarely need to move again. If the throttle is applied on exit, it should keep increasing. Clean inputs, stable platform, and no unnecessary reactions. Because the moment you start correcting the car, you're no longer driving the limit, you're driving past it. So, the next time you're pushing for lap time, don't look for sliding tyres, look for corrections. Because the first sign you're overdriving is when the lap stops being clean and starts becoming a recovery. But here's the problem. Most drivers don't realise why they start overdriving in the first place. And it usually comes from a misunderstanding where speed actually comes from in racing. I broke that down in the previous video. So if you want to understand why pushing harder often makes you slower, make sure you check that video out next.